Choosing the correct blade for your cold cut miter saw can be a confusing task, especially when you look at the charts provided by the tool and blade manufacturers. On the right is the chart included in the user manual of Bailey machines. On the left is a similar chart provided by Brobo, another manufacturer of metalworking tools. The chart on the left only determines tooth count. The Bailey chart on the right also has tooth shape recommendations. Using the chart on the left, we'll see what blades are best for cutting common hollow profiles. Our saw has 315 millimeters or 12.5 inches diameter blades capacity, so we will use that column. For 1-inch square tubing, our outside diameter of 1 inch is equivalent to 25.4 millimeters. If our wall thickness is 16 gauge material, that comes to 1/16 of an inch or 1.52 millimeters. The chart suggests a tooth count between 240 and 320. If our wall thickness is 11 gauge, which is 1/8 of an inch or 3.04 millimeters, then we should be using 180 tooth blades. With 7 gauge wall thickness, we have 3/16 of an inch or 4.5 millimeters, so we would want to use a blade with 140 to 160 teeth, assuming this chart would extend to 4 millimeter and 5 millimeter wall thicknesses. Using the same 3 wall thicknesses with 2-inch square tubing, we shift down on the chart because 2 inches equals 50.8 millimeters. 16 gauge wall thicknesses would require 220 to 320 teeth on the blade. 11 gauge would require 180 teeth, and 7 gauge would require between 140 and 160 teeth. For 1x3 rectangular tube, let's treat it as a 3-inch outside diameter stock, so 3 inches equals 76.2 millimeters. 16 gauge wall thicknesses will require 240 to 300 teeth. 11 gauge wall thicknesses will recommend 200 teeth on the blade. And 7 gauge wall thicknesses will recommend 140 to 160 teeth on the blade. Though we could consider the smaller dimension of 1 inches as the correct outside diameter and use the recommendations from 1-inch square tubing. With 1.5 inch Schedule 40 galvanized or black pipe, remember that for pipe, the 1.5 inches is the inside diameter. We need to know the outside diameter when choosing a cold cut saw blade. Schedule 40 pipe with 1.5 inches inside diameter has an outside diameter of 1.90 inches. 1.90 inches equals 48.26 millimeters. The wall thickness of Schedule 40 pipe is 0.145 inches, which converts to 3.7 millimeters. This gives us a recommendation of a blade tooth count between 160 and 180 teeth. This size recommendation comes up among all of our examples, so 140 teeth to 160 teeth is a good place to start for a general purpose cold cut saw blade for our shop. Looking back at the Bailey chart, it recommends 240 to 300 teeth for 1-inch square tubing. It recommends 220 to 300 teeth for 2-inch square tubing. And it recommends 240 teeth for 1.5 inch Schedule 40 pipe. Bailey also suggests a tooth shape of BW for most of the thinner wall hollow profiles. BW tooth shape sets the teeth with alternating bevels, similar to ATB or alternating tooth bevel for woodworking blades. The C shape on the teeth is recommended for thicker walled stock and for most of the solid stock options. Both charts provide recommendations for solid stock based on stock diameter. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time with more technical theater content.